Welcome to part 16 of this cross-country mini-series. So today I will be talking about the most random course we ran this year, honestly, kind of. I mean, it just was kind of random that we'd be doing this course. So North Thurston does a course where they pick a 5K course every year, and sometimes they do it at their school. They did it at St. Martin's for years. Like I talked about St. Martin's being my first 5K. They did that for years, but they got in trouble with St. Martin's actually because some kids were breaking into the actual school, which they weren't supposed to be doing. So they ended up not being able to host at St. Martin's this year, and they had to pick a course last second. And apparently their school wasn't available, which they have this random course at their school where we run laps around the field. I honestly never did that course, but I saw people doing that course. Like my brother did that course a couple of times, I think. So, yeah, that course existed, but this year they were at a random pumpkin patch for our 5K, and it's called like Hunter Family Farm or wherever it's at down on Yelm Highway. And they just were able to host there, and it was such a weird course. We all thought it was going to be like a piece of cake and easy, but it was actually pretty hard because there's a bunch of hills at that farm that they decided to take advantage of, and the final sprint was awful. Like usually you're able to like sprint decently fast even though you're tired and you're hurting during the race, but at the end of this course it was like gravel. You were like pushing against gravel and you were slipping and sliding everywhere, and it wasn't really easy. And honestly, I think I could have beaten the guy in front of me from North Thurston if I if I was able to sprint fully, because I ended up talking to him, and he was one of those guys that didn't even really like doing cross country and wasn't even really that fast and wasn't even trying that hard. But I finished in a fine time. I was like one of the best in terms of like getting close to my original time. I ran like a 21:49, which was pretty close to the 21:30 that I had for my PR. But thank you for joining me, and stay tuned for the next part.